This definitely, for sure, has added sugar. You cannot tell me this doesn't have added sugar. Hi, and welcome back to Veggies by EOS. Today I'm going to be making 2 of Dunkin' Donuts. I don't think they are called Dunkin' Donuts anymore. I think it's just Dunkin'. But I'm going to be making 2 of their matcha drinks, both the frozen one and their just like cold latte. Is that what it's called? I don't know. I'm not going to make the hot one just because like personally I don't really like hot matcha. Therefore I'm not going to make it. But if you want to make a hot one at home, just take my cold one and I don't know, throw it in the microwave. I'm sure it would probably taste like Dunkin'. But I'm going to go ahead and start with the frozen one because I think that's going to be the most interesting one to make. Step 1, which you need to either do this the day before or just a few hours before, I'm going to go ahead and put my coconut milk into my ice tray. And honestly, I love this ice tray. I have no idea where I got it from, but it's amazing. It's all squishy. So yeah, step 1, almost perfect or almost overflowing a little bit in the center. I have my frozen milk cubes from yesterday. They actually look really weird, but here are my frozen milk cubes. They're really hard to get out of here. Like, ice cubes are super easy to get out of here, so I don't know why these are so difficult. We have the milk cubes. Here is the coconut milk I'm using. It is just by Silk and it is unsweetened. I will say So Delicious has really good coconut milk, but like this tastes pretty similar and this is like $2 cheaper, so I would recommend getting this one. They do sell it at Walmart. And I just like getting the unsweetened. I mean, sweetened tastes good, but personally, I think this tastes good enough and I don't need the extra sugar, so I am not gonna go for that extra sugar. I eat enough sugar as it is, so I'm not about to try to have even more. And when you're adding the milk, it kind of depends if you want your drink to be thicker or thinner. I might add a little bit more. I like mine to be a little bit thinner. Like, I like the frozen drink, but I definitely like it to be a little bit on the thinner side. So I went ahead and just about filled it up to where the ice stopped, or ice, milk ice, whatever you want to call it. So that is a lot of milk. Again, if you want yours thicker, just add less milk, it'll be fine. Actually, one other thing I want to mention, Dunkin' uses regular milk. I'm using dairy-free milk, obviously, as you can see. I personally really like using coconut milk for matcha drinks. Almond milk is fine too, but, and I repeat, do not use oat milk. I tried using oat milk with this 2 days ago. It tasted awful. So whatever you do not use oat milk. That's all I have to say. Okay, back to the video. So now I'm adding my matcha, and you actually cannot buy this brand anymore. It was that website Brandless. It was a pretty cool website, and they just like don't exist anymore. I'm assuming they went bankrupt. This happened before the whole coronavirus thing, so it wasn't because of that. I'm not really sure why. And actually on here, whatever matcha powder you do happen to get, I think Target sells matcha powder. I'm gonna have to find out soon because I'm running low on this. It gives you the serving size. It says 1 teaspoon, so I usually either do just about 1 teaspoon or like a little bit more. I think I might add, just since I have a lot of milk, I'm gonna add a little bit more than that. And personally, I think Dunkin' probably adds sugar or sweetener. I'm not going to do that. If you like need sugar or sweetener in your drink, then go ahead and add some, but I'm just gonna leave it as is. I hate blending frozen stuff. It's so annoying. That took forever to blend. Honestly, you could even add more milk just so it's easier to blend if you don't want to deal with standing at your blender for a minute. And I have a pretty good blender, so if you have a bad blender, this is gonna take you a hot minute. But it doesn't taste exactly like the Dunkin' one. Like I said, the Dunkin' one is a tiny bit sweeter. It is very similar. Honestly, the biggest difference is like Dunkin', since they're using like machines and whatever to make like the iced part. I mean, I don't know how it works. If you work at Dunkin', let me know. Maybe I can ask my friend Rachel who worked there. Rachel said that they do have this big machine that they use for making all the iced drinks and frozen drinks and all that, which obviously makes sense. But she did mention that if you have a regular blender, there's different settings on regular blenders. You're interrupting my video. I don't have different settings, like I just have this, and it's really mainly for smoothies, which is what I mainly use it for. But Rachel mentioned how if you do have a regular blender, you could use like one of the other settings. Are you done? This is still good though. Like honestly, this is really good. I would highly recommend you try this at home because Dunkin' wants to sell them for $5 and I've been stupid enough to buy it like maybe 4 or 5 times just because I really like it. But $5 is way too expensive for a drink. So I would recommend you make this at home instead. Yeah, it's really hard to get the consistency correct. So that's really the only downfall with making like the frozen one at home. It is really hard to perfect the consistency. Taste-wise, pretty similar. Although they do use whole milk, I believe. They use regular milk. They don't use non-dairy milk. I know that much. So it is going to taste a little bit different because of that. So you can kind of see the consistency isn't amazing. Like that was after mixing it a little bit. It definitely still is frozen, although you can see a little bit of liquid hanging out in there. So does this look amazing? Not really, but I promise you it does taste good. So I recommend you try this at home. Kaya is refusing to eat her breakfast, which is right there because it was thundering. It's not even thundering anymore. Overall, I would say this is really good. I think I'm gonna stick to the non-frozen ones just because it's so much easier, and that's what I'm gonna do next in the video. I'm just gonna do that tomorrow because I'm not gonna make 2 matcha drinks in one day. So I will see you tomorrow where I make just the regular non-frozen matcha latte from Dunkin' Donuts. Actually, one other thing I want to mention, just since I was like mentioning that the oat milk tastes awful, another thing that tastes awful, so I tried this with frozen raspberries, like kind of instead of like the frozen milk cubes, I tried using frozen fruit to see like how does fruit mix with matcha, and it was awful. Like, do not try it. I was gonna make a video on it and it was so horrible. I was like, this is disgusting. So do not try adding fruit to your matcha drink. It tastes disgusting. It's Kaya's birthday, so I had to get her some sugar nuggets. If you don't watch Tatum on Instagram, you have to, yeah, she's trying to eat it. You have to follow him because he calls these sugar nuggets. They're actually just munchkins from Dunkin'. I already gave her one. Oh man, she's really trying to go. Kaya, I'm not gonna give you all 10. I want some too. Oh no, hold on. What about a blueberry one? A sugar nugget. Don't eat it in one bite. Okay, she ate it in one bite. I want one too, they're good. Another sugar nugget. You probably shouldn't have more than 3 though. Maybe we'll save some for later. Mmm. I like the glazed ones. She is 11 years old today. She's wagging because she thinks she's gonna get another sugar nugget. Okay, maybe one more. Just because it's your birthday, there you go. But now we're gonna save them because you just had way too many sugar nuggets. I did just go to Dunkin' and I got an iced matcha latte, but I haven't tried it yet. So I have officially never tried their matcha latte, and I'm gonna make my own. I'm gonna show you how I'm gonna make my own real quick, and then I'm gonna do a taste test, and it's gonna be a blind taste test. I obviously know what mine tastes like because I've made mine before, but I'm interested to see when I do a blind taste test, like if I can point out mine or, I don't know, I have no idea. So we're gonna see how that goes. Now I will say I use coconut milk, and Dunkin' I know uses regular milk, so I'll probably be able to tell the difference just because of that, but I don't know, we'll find out. So this is how I make my iced matcha lattes at home. I literally just use coconut milk and that same matcha that I was showing earlier. And I use about the same amount as I did yesterday. I got a little bit more than a teaspoon in that scoop. Kaya is literally, you're not gonna have matcha. You can have a munchkin, but you can't have matcha. And that is all I do. And I will go ahead and blend that. The reason why I do it in a blender is you really can't mix this without putting it in a blender. It just, like if I were to try, are you trying to have my matcha? If I were to try to mix this just like with a spoon, it just like would not work out. So I'm gonna go blend this real quick. Usually I would just throw a couple ice cubes in here and throw the straw in here, but since I'm going to be doing the taste test, I'm actually going to transfer both of these drinks to identical cups so that I can feel like the same cup and I don't know which is which. And just looking at the color, this looks a lot light green, this is more dark green. I mean, you can clearly tell there's a difference. So I'm going to go transfer these to identical cups. Unfortunately, I don't have like identical cups, so this is the closest we've got. And I'm probably gonna spill this. I think I'm gonna know which one's which. Oh, I got all of mine in there. I actually have those same ice cubes from yesterday. They're not actually ice, they're cubes of coconut milk. So I'm going to add a few of those. I really don't know how I'm gonna do this. I'm just gonna close my eyes. I also noticed that one of the cups is shorter than the other one, so I think I'm gonna grab them like by the side. Okay, and I'm just gonna mix them, and I'm gonna talk while I'm doing it so I don't get like I'm not counting like how many times I'm mixing them. I'm gonna mix them the other way. I just realized you can't even see what I'm doing because I have the camera facing just me, but trust me, I am mixing them. And at this point, since I've been talking, I definitely don't know which is which. I think I'm just gonna taste one. That's pretty good, but I think this is the one that I make. I'm pretty sure that's the one I made. The other one feels heavier, and I know for a fact that the other one had more ice. Well, I think this is Dunkin's. Definitely tastes a little sweeter. Okay, so I was right. I knew which was which. They don't taste that different. Honestly, like, I can tell the difference, but that's just because I've been making this one like a few times a week for like the past month, and I've never had this one, so it was pretty easy for me to tell the difference. But this more tastes like matcha, and you can kind of taste the coconut milk a little bit. This definitely for sure has added sugar. You cannot tell me this doesn't have added sugar. There's 100% added sugar to this. So I will say, the Dunkin' one, taste-wise, taste alone, the Dunkin' one is a little bit better. But they are very similar, and if you really need that like sugar taste, you could always add sweetener or sugar to the one you make at home. Personally, I like the taste of just the matcha and the coconut milk, so I don't feel the need to add sugar. I get enough sugar anyway. I literally just ate a donut and like 4 munchkins, so I do not need any more sugar. I will say, the one Dunkin' makes is pretty good. Maybe while I'm editing, I'll look up how much sugar is in a medium at Dunkin', and I'll like leave that on the screen. There's probably a lot. Yeah, that's the biggest difference. Just this one's sweeter because there's 100% added sugar. Also, I tried asking the lady in the drive-thru if I could get the iced matcha with no ice, which I know sounds funny, like you want an iced drink with no ice, but they put so much ice in it. Like, the ice in this cup is up to here. That's ridiculous. Like, that's half of the drink. So I just paid $5 for ice. I tried saying no ice, but honestly, she didn't speak very good English. I don't think she understood what I was saying. She also, after I told her 3 times that I wanted blueberry and glazed munchkin, she was like, so you want chocolate? And I was like, no, I want blueberry and glazed. So that is the summary. The Dunkin' one tastes better, but this is still really good. I'm still gonna keep making my own every day. It's not worth it to spend $5 to go to Dunkin'. If I really want to, I could add sugar or sweetener to mine and it would taste better. Or actually, honestly, let me show you my coconut milk. Whenever I buy non-dairy milk, I always get unsweetened. As you can see, unsweetened, it says right there. And actually, I feel like if you were to get either vanilla or sweetened coconut milk, or even, you know, if you get, I don't know, almond milk or whatever, I think if you were to get sweetened milk, that the one you could make at home would taste better. So I actually think I'm gonna try that. Next time I go grocery shopping, I might get a sweetened one and try it. Maybe I'll do a video taste testing unsweetened versus sweetened. For me personally, I'm totally fine with it being unsweetened, but I know a lot of people want their drink sweetened. And you should comment below, happy birthday Kaya, even though this is going up 1 week after her birthday, so sorry about that. But Kaya got some munchkins for her birthday, and I got to test out. I mean, hey, I tried this for the first time and it's really good. Thank you for watching, and let me know if you like matcha or if you've ever tried it. If you've never tried it, you should go try one. Either make it by yourself at home or just go to Dunkin', or Starbucks has one too. I'm thinking about making a video about Starbucks drinks, although most Starbucks, I think all the ones by me are closed actually, so I can't really do that right now. But eventually I will make a video on that. So thank you for watching. I'll see you next week.